certainly bringing tons of new stuff every single day. It's probably going to be an exponential level of things that they improve and change day by day. So that's the immediate challenge for Liquid, who also have shown that they've like prepared a lot and changed a lot of stuff themselves. But yeah, as was mentioned on the desk by Pimp, they're going to be very satisfied with this veto, and we could very easily get 3 maps. And I just really don't know who's going to win.
Of course, Vertigo, where we begin the show, and the A site, where MIBR have decided to get the ball rolling. They've got a nice bit of utility here. Nice bit. 2 frags, double smokes, double flash. And no challenge whatsoever from Liquid from the A site because Elige is walking behind them. He's very wary that somebody's going to keep him locked into position, but look at this, nobody watching. He doesn't get his chance to find a 5v4, but the grenades on point. Yell's able to blow Fallen out of the equation. Bomb planted from Dinoco, and now Elige starts to round the corners. Again, they know he's back here. It's just a matter of him finding some sort of an impact, and with Esagaze up close, it's Elige to equalize. He takes the gush, and then Nav from the bomb site itself is able to find impact. Grim, he's sticking that bomb all the way. No, not like this. I refuse to accept.
Get ready for more.
Vertigo like this.
Yeah. Well, you can't really take a stand here because this is just the way it is. But on the bright side, for both teams, they understand this. So I think, you know, MIBR realized immediately, actually, you know, we're within like half a second of actually pulling off this kill in time. So yeah, they realized it, but that's just the name of the game. I would like to bring attention to Elige and how well he played that after getting spotted, getting away, but still coming back and having impact, and, you know, recognizing that it's just too time-consuming to try to chase him down, so it made sense for them to go forward, and that he did have a way back into the round and found the perfect way to approach it, and also gave them enough space that he read what position they would try to counter him with, you know, tucked right into that corner. So super well played round by Elige in particular, and yeah, in general, all the kills look super solid. So what happens now? Liquid will upgrade. MIBR have a good amount of control, sitting on the ramp, ready to explode. And they turn the corner on the site, man. It really feels like MIBR are the ones who won the pistol with how much progress they've made, but look at this damage that's come in already.
I don't get MIBR in control, but Cello able to find that bomb plant on the second attempt, doesn't get away. It was the first CT to damage him low, and Elige comes back at it. Here we have the retake already outbound. Smoke grenade on short again. Same smoke that Grim was able to use for the last defuse. Fallen down to the 2 seconds, gets killed off of it. We've got MIBR across the kill feed, but back into the 2v2. It's Yell to close as MIBR rob it back.
Such a mess, isn't it? But you know what, man? Like, with the amount of space that was there, I'm sure you didn't feel like that was over at all, right? Just because they killed Cello.
At no point.
They had some good guns. They had distance. And, you know, Liquid were coming off of a pistol round win, but it doesn't mean they have all the money in the world, right? They're coming off 2 plants here. They know they're running into a buy. It was hard to say that Liquid were even favored at that moment with that bomb plant. So maybe that's where it got testy. And of course, it does come down to some crazy spray action. I honestly think this is a problem that just absolutely must be addressed on this map. I mean, I don't want to take up you know, viewers' time to talk about it, but I think this is just obviously stylistically, if the meta keeps coming back to this, even when teams have tried to do other things, of course, it's just something that's very, you know, it's just kind of unpleasant I think to be a part of and to watch sometimes as well. But in the meta as well, we have seen, you know, a lot of tactics emerge on Vertigo. We've seen a refocus on mid control for the T side, which is great. They're using it more on lurking. We're having both sides of the map getting pressed at the same time like we do in this round. And that keeps the CTs on their toes.
Yeah, there's definitely room for different looks on Vertigo. It's just like you said, man, it falls back onto that more often than not. Flash over the side from Bolts. Trying to skim him off this B site, but we've got Liquid very much ahead of this. I was gonna say commitment, but MIBR fade away once more.
Yeah,
this has allowed Grim up close on the short shelf. A huge position for him to possibly get behind them as they execute towards A.
Yeah, I think that's actually very, you know, teams don't really rock back this hard that often, so I wouldn't be surprised if Liquid just assume they're going to reaggress, but they've made good time here coming back up the ramp, and now it looks like MIBR will start to move. I don't know, or sorry, Liquid. Don't know if they saw anything.
What an ominous spot from Grim when we see that from third perspective. Everybody on MIBR just kind of crouching inwards, creeping onto the A bomb site. Bolt's killing Fallen is huge. It gives him his chance to rush in and find the bomb plant. Stewie ambitious through smoke, can't quite deny it. A 3v3 is what we're left with. Again, it is just the armored pistols for Liquid. No utility for the retake attempt, and these deep positions from MIBR really welcome Liquid forward into the rifles, into Cello, most notably, as he is the front runner, but NAF CZ upgraded to a real gun. And with a player back behind sandbags, oh, he's found himself back into the cover. NAF has to contemplate the save. He goes ahead and concedes. MIBR find their second.
Yeah, that's worthwhile. And you can see very clearly what MIBR's game plan is. You know, pretending it's going to be B here, pressing up. They really did do a good job of pulling the rotations from Liquid, but, you know, have gone back to what they feel like is just the best course of action. And it has resulted in rounds 1 here. Now, it's a good opening tactic from Liquid to pull off this boost. Nice and clean. They get this kill. And I think, honestly, I like that Grim takes the fight, takes the shot right away, as opposed to letting everybody cross, because I think that's a spot that could get cleared by the third guy up. You know, they might get suspicious that they don't see anyone, and there was a chance that he would get cleared by somebody else, even if the first guy wasn't looking. So I think that made a lot of sense, and getting 4 kills in the round is not so bad considering it was a force. They keep this AK, move it forward on Nafly, and MIBR, very strong buy versus just this one AK. So it'll really be on the last Canadian teammate on Team Liquid to try to make something happen.
Damn. It's a little bit of a sad way to put it.
Sag.
The last Canadian.
Well,
Gets himself at least 1 kill, and then we get a bit of an activation here from the mid box. Good dink damage onto Yell. He's going to have to concede this position, walk away. God forbid he gives him another gun. It's Grim from inside the site. Danico finding a bit of damage there as the CTs go for a boost. That will give them vision because they boost on top of the boost. And this gives NAF a very threatening line of sight. Sure enough, killing bolts, falling down, going for spam. And this MAC-10, that's a wild risk to take, but
smokes come up.
Gets himself a kill, and then the CTs come charging inwards. Then we have MIBR across the kill feed, back into the 2v2. 30 seconds. There's no way they're going to B.
Yeah, it's a play and pause here. A-ramp pressure is coming up.
Oh, Sagase able to get the one on elevator. Grim trades it. He's locked into this position. He doesn't have knowledge as to where the T is at, and he's just trying to keep himself in cover.
He's playing it well.
He's worried. 10 seconds.
The one spot. They've got to go for this duel. Oh, that is so nice from Sagase. Off the shadow, but recognizes Grim doesn't really have another place to play from. You know, really, would he have fallen back into CT spawn?
No.
It's unlikely, so, you know, even though he gives up that advantage, and that's how Grim should play it because he has the shadow to work with. It's a beautiful pre-fire, basically. Up into his position. And a good attempt. Another round with 9 deaths, basically. Lots of players dying. Yeah, beautifully played there by Sagase. Super sick stuff.
Shadow advantage did belong to Grim, but he was feeling squeezed, man, that entire time.
Yeah.
You could see him jiggling between the possible angles, thinking about the timing.
That's a huge value of waiting, is that people will start to play predictable positions if you just give them enough space. You also eliminate other threats if you do wait a little bit longer sometimes, too. Naturally.
More forward stance from Liquid on the A site. Grim using the gap in the bricks to get Sagase. Finds his revenge right at the start of the following round and leaves these 4 Ts to their own devices on the ramp walk. No aggression from Liquid elsewhere on the map. Middle's been conceded over, so these guys on A are kind of flying blind, but they are in fact ahead of what looks like a commitment. 2 more smokes for MIBR. And the defense with dwindling utility. Wallbang damage here softens Grim up, but he's got teammates nearby to help.
Who would you rather be at this moment?
I'm going to say Liquid.
Liquid, okay, yeah. Not by a huge margin, though, right?
No, sir.
A lot of control here from MIBR. They've had some success. They've done a good job of getting the bomb plants in these situations, so we'll see if they can do it again.
They've got enough bodies on site. Fallen starting to walk forward. Yell falls back. Now, that's an audio confirmation from Grim. That grenade's going to cut off line of sight. Oh, and Bolts, he gets Fallen right through where that smoke was going to pop. Grim goes down empty-handed, and MIBR, 2 crucial opening kills. Naf's got somewhat of an answer here, and he's going to run forward, takes down Danico. That's at the hands of Elige. Stewie 2K looking for the clutch, but the op's back by sandbags, and now he knows. But Yell, he's able to find that kill, and with one player yet again, for the second time back-to-back, MIBR find the round
And
win.
3 or 4 rounds, 9 deaths.
This wallbang right there, deep into Fallen.
This was the thing that happened yesterday where Liquid gave up a little bit too much control, and then with that phase were able to just crunch, because like from there on, it was just flowchart. They had enough space that they could get all of their nades out, they could spam, they could do everything they wanted to. It's just that comfort zone. Liquid have to disrespect the comfort zone a little bit more. And I think that amount of space is being used very well by MIBR. The game plan looks super solid right now. I think it's clear to Liquid what's happening, but the response is not quite there yet.
All right, well, that was something that we kind of, criticized them for yesterday. The game plan coming into Nuke versus FaZe. It looked like it was there, but... Oh, Bolts! Just smashing his way into the B-bomb site. 3 kills versus these pistols. Through the smoke grenade. He knew their presence was near, but he didn't get flustered by lack of vision. He lines it up.
Yeah, just versus the force, but okay, limited deaths until Grim comes through with a kill. Clan will go down on the A site, and they're already intent on hunting the CTs where they may want to try to exit. I'm not sure, yeah, it's kind of random at this point, but okay. Elige will be heard above Bolts, who got that absurd 2K spray down through the smoke, and Bolts is going to chill for a bit. He hears the reload coming in. Can alert his teammates. There's still another player to worry about. And, I mean, these rounds have been very expensive, so it's a bit of a tense situation. You know, kind of a DMZ here at lower B where it feels like he could take a risk and turn the corner, but Elige is kind of waiting for someone potentially to come and hunt him down. So will he take the peek is the question. And we'll have that answered now. And wow, they actually play it with so much discipline here. They're more concerned about keeping 3 alive, which is actually a really good play, and trying to create a money surplus, which wouldn't be possible if they ran that risk. And I think that is playing to win 101 here for MIBR. So a very good sign that you know, they're really thinking about every inch at the moment. And now they're on fire. They win a round finally with 3 alive. They're getting bomb plants every single time they attack a site, and yeah, they're definitely in the power position versus Liquid. They're trying to put scraps together to get all these defuse kits, get this op. And they refuse to try to attack this A ramp problem head on.
Yeah, they did it once.
They really believe in their retakes, but I think that's clearly not looked like the appropriate game plan so far. And maybe there's certain things that are going wrong, which they feel like they're getting unlucky with. So, you know, maybe they can try it again.
Yeah, the one round Grim stuck his face next to the sandbags is when they had the 5v4.
Yeah.
Ooh, sketchy spot for Naf. Oh, but he gets Bolts over the shoulder of Cello. No trade kill back for MIBR in that one. Maybe Esagaze activates in middle. We do see the B defense being drawn forward, closer towards the ramp. The flash is good, but it wasn't in the eyes of Cello. So Naf is the casualty.
Oh, Grim, he's going to hear that. He'll chase his prey down the ramp, but look who squeezes for mid control. Esagaze here in such a prime position. The op does not get caught out, and now the players are rotating over towards the B side. He doesn't want to overplay his hand and get caught in by a rotator. He can help take down the one defender here.
He's in the open.
This should be the round over as soon as he finds this kill. I mean, this really is going to be a difficult spot for Liquid, but we'll see how it plays out.
Clotheslined. Esagaze slipping in through middle. We saw Fallen kind of floating the op, but Elige, he's going to go ahead and take an initiative. Now he knows there's a player stranded on site. Bomb planter couldn't have gotten too far. I feel like Elige somewhat saves this in terms of even having any kind of a chance, but he gets tagged up by the op. Fallen finds the headshot. Cello boosted, dies to a leash, and we've got Liquid with a retake. Now that's a round. It looked like they got wrecked.
Yeah.
With Esagaze coming in through spawn, Stewie 2K gets clotheslined off of the building. But Alish, he fears not the Molotov on construction. Stewie sent sailing, and I thought that was the round, but MIBR's streak comes to an end.
I don't think Esagaze overplayed in this situation. He threw the molly down. Alish just made a better play, and he had to take the fight there. He could have won it. You know, he could have won it. He ended up losing. It's still a 3v3 from that point, but that's probably where, you know, odds swing heavily back into the favor of Liquid. Heroic play here from Liquid to bring things back, from Alish to bring things back at least. Bolts actually only has a deagle, so they really are just paying for the fact that a lot of these rounds have been close. Now there's a really good chance for Liquid to get back into this game. Another opening kill for them as well. I mean, yeah, for a minute there it looked like Liquid were just picking up pennies in front of a steamroller, but suddenly MIBR are the ones who are economically in the dumps.
We're not far off from the parallel universe where that retake falls completely flat. This is a big round for Liquid if they want to keep it going. Op up close from Fallen, lands into Cello, and almost draws Bolts into the second CT. But they've got utility still to play. MIBR, their A presence has looked good. The utility on the execute, the wall bangs they've managed. And more often than not, we are praising them on this half of the map, but in a two-man disadvantage, we'll see. Alish trades back as Bolts boldly peeks into the fire. Yell, he's looking for a target inside of the site, but Alish heads up. He could be coming alive tonight. Yell, fully blind, goes down as Liquid take a third.
I like the way they're weaponizing Grim for a lot of these peaks early on in the rounds. He's had a high success rate so far. I think he can continue to be a problem. And
same angle.
Crack peek on the sandbag, yeah. And I think this is just so important because it takes the edge off when it comes to a post plant. Like, I really believe that there's certain teams that we're seeing, like Liquid and EG, have drilled their retakes to the point that it feels like they're almost crippled by them. They really want to get to those positions and go for the retakes, but from all the rounds we've casted, and we've casted so many goddamn rounds at this point, it doesn't feel like you can actually find a guarantee a retake in a sense that, like, you can have a huge advantage with the weapons and everything, but since you have to attack coming into the site, there's just so much opportunity for a huge play to be made from a single T in a position, and time sometimes becomes your main enemy. It just feels like the pressure results in just like too much variance on some of these retakes. So I think it's good to be able to retake and know you can be comfortable doing it and get that space, but sometimes I think you need to be flexible enough to also disrupt a planner, make an individual play if you feel the moment, not just save up to play a perfect retake, because sometimes that's just not how it ends. And yeah, but now that that round's over, Liquid, they've got a farm round ahead of them. MIBR are going to be happy to run into an op whenever they can find it. It's actually much better.
He gets over top of the wood, but his teammates don't quite activate simultaneously. We saw Bolts come around the corner first, Stewie easy 5v4. And then Naf, yeah, he's having a field day. 2 kills for him. Rock solid B defense versus measly pistols. Team Liquid now 1 away from tying
for
at 5.
Liquid, keep doing what you're doing with Grim. Get him down the ramp. Get him to take fights. Alish, same thing. I mean, these two players, you're very lucky to have players like them. I mean, actually Stewie as well, you know, all 3 of them are willing to take a lot of fights. Alish and Grim are going to be probably more consistent with winning those duels and, like, used as stars in a round to multi-frag in really terrible spots. So good for Liquid to have Grim in a position like that, but continue to take that fight down the ramp, I think, early on. Look for that 5v4. That's it. Definitely, as soon as MIBR get control of Henny, short shelf on the ramp, know that nobody sandbags. Their executes are really strong. The post plants are good. You don't want Yell getting to the sandbag. You don't want, you know, it's the same thing that we'll see in the second half. Alish is going to forcibly come up the A ramp, fight everything, get to the sandbags, and once he's at that point, the round is pretty much lost. Like, he's going to own from that position. So if you're Liquid, try to deny that, I think, as much as possible.
Sandbags, the hotly contested outpost at the A site. Stewie Gonna be softened up ever so slightly. Naf as well actually taking a bit of damage, but they played for the bottom of B stairs and they decide to walk back here, not wanting to run a total risk. Fallen, clean line of sight, almost dies. Almost dies. 11 HP on the retreat.
Can't have 2 weak operas in one round. A couple of shots missed here. Means opportunities for MIBR. We see the damage, you know. It's pretty nice. Not only that, though, they get info. How do they punish the setup? This is the question. But, you know, a nice full execute is usually a pretty good remedy for ops. Don't want just put them in a position where they have to retake if possible. But how do they establish that control that they want? This short shelf control, this ramp control? Well, at the moment, Liquid are not bringing any ideas towards aggressive ramp control. They throw a smoke down on the short shelf. They aren't watching it right now. But the smoke goes a little bit deep.
Yeah, it's a gap and a half.
I don't think it's not a position where you can actually punish, so it might not matter for Liquid, but
Stewie,
we'll see.
To be distracted by the utility here. Yell's going to walk around short side. Counter terrorist kind of in flux at the moment.
Oh, man.
Yell's got a really good timing here. Unless Grim gets behind the boxes. But Fallen spotted, and there goes Danico. Yell inside of the site. Frag grenades on point. And now he's got himself another challenger here in the hands of Elige. Here comes, Esagaza from mid. He gets himself a double. And that leaves Stewie stranded. Esagaze again, this time not slipping through CT to compromise the B site, but joining forces with Yell on A. 2 kills apiece between those Brazilians. Strong bit of resilience.
Liquid, it's in the name, man. You got to keep the ideas coming. They have to continuously work back for map control. They can't leave big gaps like this. Like, as soon as MIBR realized, and this is credit to MIBR, you know, worst teams wouldn't be able to find that, but trying to, you know, reclaim short shelf in the way they did and realize that Liquid are not doing anything in the mid round, kind of staying a bit stale. They're giving all the space up to MIBR. MIBR are taking advantage of that. They're willing to take the risk, wrap the corner, because once they do, like, you see Yell in that position, turn the corner, like, the round is won. It's not necessarily won, but it feels winning, and that's what's scary for Liquid. So, you know, not babysitting that position, leaving this open, it was very, very dangerous, and Yell did a fantastic job of punishing with all this newfound map control, and all the while, I mean, Esagaze, how do they have this much control of the round with just loose lurkers on the map? I think MIBR are definitely playing better than Liquid at the moment. Doesn't mean that Liquid can't answer back, but yeah, they've got to keep up because MIBR look very fresh-faced, bringing a lot of ideas. See, clearly the communication is high, and they're willing to take all these different kinds of risks in a round.
Yeah, and slick timings from MIBR as well at the moment. Esagaze boosted here. Grim up close. Fallen shuts down the first man. And now Grim's position could truly go unchecked. Nafly, one and done towards middle. That does open the possibility of Cello to jackknife some sort of a setup. It's got to be hot on Liquid's mind. It's happened twice already. But Grim, this position way too valuable. They're trying to draw them into him, but the longer he holds this, the more likely Liquid have to peel a player back.
He's in such a trump card position. I mean, he's behind the smoke. He knows if they go past this certain line, his teammate does not have to overextend from the back if he doesn't want to. There will be a peek, but it just baits the attention away. And yeah, Grim activates 4-on-2 now with a smoke in hand.
And Grim's going to get himself a second. Cello not quite in a spot to trade that. Really nice, smooth moves from Fallen there. Just playing around, showing a little bit of skin around the side of the short shelf. You know, pounding his shot through the wall as opposed to actually committing to the peak and offering over anything to MIBR. Elige gets canceled out on the flank, but there's Grim. 3 kills on the round. You said it, man. Activate Grim. Get him down ramp. Do not concede control so that MIBR have easy executes, and this round is a prime example of it with a little bit of help from Fallen.
Yeah, we got Fallen in the Henny position, and yeah, I mean, Grim, he doesn't need a babysitter, man. He is such a great player already. It's really astonishing to watch. He kind of like, it's almost like Shades of Elige, the way that he can maneuver himself in a round and multi-frag. The aim meets the brains with Grim. He definitely isn't just a one-trick player and doesn't need a lot of support to to destroy teams. So I think, yeah, keep doing this. Don't let them turn the corner on ramp. And if you kill them at the bottom of A ramp, you don't have to worry about short shelf or, you know, them lurking anywhere basically on this. And then keep eyes on mid. I mean, it just really feels like the game plan should be clear at this point. And for MIBR on the bright side, they have different levels to get to now. If they get Liquid to commit really hard to this A ramp play, you know, now they can structure their rounds around trying to punish Grim for these positions. If they do punish Grim, then they can get the round they want again, maybe a 5v4. So let's see how MIBR, you know, try to adapt to this. Maybe if they think Liquid are going to try the same thing.
The 11 rounds we've seen, Liquid have had the first kill 9 times. And they're shooting for their 10th. With so much damage here versus the Brazilians, they've got it yet again. But obviously, 5v4s don't net them round wins all of the time. They're still trailing by 1.
Listen, positional compensation. They lose the trade, but they get that exact spot that they want on the ramp. They don't necessarily have to overextend anywhere now, because here, they almost always get the bomb down. So we'll see if Liquid can be disruptive. They actually do. And it's a Liege from the back behind Fallen to get the kill.
Bolts slapped by Grim. Headshot connects on short side. 5 versus 2. Very strong spot for Liquid. Esagaze coming around the corners. And, well, almost the same fate as his teammate. But between him and Danico, they've got 24 HP to work with. And Elish hot on their heels, man. This is going to be an easy 2K for him as he finds them mid-execution. They were trying to play around with grenades, and Elish not playing games. We've got this match tied at 6 rounds apiece.
Yeah, nice to see that not to go to a post-plant situation here for Liquid. Keeping the double eyes down the ramp, I think a great shot. Yell could have got that trade, but even if Yell got the kill in, we had Fallen covering that same position as well. So, I mean, I like the tempo change from MIBR. Nearly worked there, even though they lost that opening duel. But Liquid, they went back to the strategy that's been working for them. Just forward aggressive control down the ramp, and you know, and ended up getting a kill with Elise, yeah, staying alive, falling back. MIBR on pistols. 3 rounds to wrap up the half. No idea if they have good plans for an eco.
This double op setup from Liquid's been pretty fruitful. Between Fallen and Stewie, they have 7 op kills to Yell's 1. We've seen him posted down on bottom A ramp, Yell, trying to find picks over top of smoke, but never have Liquid really offered it over. And now just padding those statistics is Fallen here on mid. Pistols, second chance. Of course, Stewie's got his cannon ready as well. They know something's up here in mid. Woo. Ambitious flick. Not going to find the mark. And Stewie, well, he just lost his head to the Deagle. Yell. He's going to get a D kill, but Elish doubles down with the AK on mid. Cello head hunting elsewhere. Still, 2 pickups for just pistols. MIBR contesting this 13th round when they truly have no business even winning. Naf back by quad. Cello clearing corners. Naf hasn't actually fully peeked out just yet. Cello's wary of the spot, but Elish going to take his attention away. Oh, he even has a very real heads-up awareness of the situation.
Yeah, I love how you're scared just because of how many rounds have come this close or even been won for MIBR. Definitely impressed in this half. Not over yet. Small lead for Liquid, but not a comfy one. Not a comfy one at all.
I think it does serve as a strong reminder that 5 of the 6 rounds from MIBR were in the opening 6. Liquid wins pistol, lose 5 in a row. And then we see a little adaptation.
Yeah.
We see a little bit more forceful of a setup down this A ramp, and maybe we're going to get more of it this time with Grim heading over there. But Fallen is the solo op here in the 14th round. Naf tucked down B, Cello crosses over. We've got a couple of players from MIBR challenging Yellow Tarp over on the A site, but there's a real possibility of the kills coming in from B. No, Fallen, he extends into Danico. It's gonna have to be Grim to deliver. He's got a player right ahead, snaps back, and gives us the double that Team Liquid need.
Wow. What would they call that? El Monstro? That was nasty from Grim, but okay.
Over.
His friend Elish, who comes in to refresh his position, gets taken out, and they know that Grim isn't here as well. And Yell has gotten tons of info going up from the short shelf and coming back to the sandbags. And he's just putting a pin on CT to make sure no one can rotate through. Bomb needs to get recollected, but, you know, Grim's low, Stewie and Naf, they've got grenades to work with, and I think they're going to be inclined to sit and wait as opposed to, you know, throw this away, trying to get info back. You know, CTs are in an advantage position, but it feels like they might give up a plant here.
Smoke to elevator would block off Grim. Nobody's actually cleared short shelf for MIBR. There's a chance Grim's in one of those corners. Bolt's gonna take the chance, and down goes the plant. Despite half of his health being taken away, he immediately puts out the fire, and then he's gonna go ahead to fall back. We've got no flank for Liquid. 3 players at the helm of this retake, but we said don't give Yell this position, and right now he is locked in on it. He saw a player slip by. Smoke grenade extends, now bolts from short side. He drops Grim, sees Naf, and can't do anything about it. A retake here from Liquid gives them a 2-round lead.
Yeah, it's well played. Another good round here from, actually from Nafly with the 3 frags on the retake, but a key one from Elige going up top to take out Yell at the sandbags. It's a handshake agreement at that point. You know where the offer is. That duel's got to come down. Incredible 2K from Grim as well as the sole man on the site. If he died, that site would have been completely taken over. And the, you know, the CT rotations would have been fossilized, sitting in CT spawn, waiting, with a player disadvantage as well. So, you know, just, I mean, again, just huge plays from Grim.
Run boost.
Really keeping Liquid alive, and a successful run boost. It might have got spotted. I'm not sure. Yeah, Nafly looks like he's seen something.
Yeah, but that's what he has to ask himself.
Right.
Guys, am I seeing stuff? The terrorists by jetpacks? Smokes go forward from MIBR, and so does Stewie 2K. He actually loses a third of his HP. Takes a position on box. Oh! As he dies, he finds the headshot versus Cello, and he saw 2 to 3 Ts sitting down there.
Yeah, definitely. Worthwhile, you know. Causes some grenades to come through. For MIBR, they realize that they've been exposed a little bit as to what their intentions may be, but the bomb was not spotted. And as long as they delay, they kind of reset the position a little bit. Let's see how the CTs will continue forward. Naf and Elige, they're creating a connection here on the B site. Not pushing or anything, but staying close together, tethered.
Continual spam going on here. Danico coming up from the A site. He's gonna get a challenge versus Grim, but he loses it. Grim just flirting with the sides of the elevator. Esagaze going for the bomb plant. He's gonna be able to commit to that one. Yet again, they put out the fire that's meant to fluster his feet. Naf with a headshot versus Yell at B. Leaves the 4v2 to unfold here. But we've got full HP on both Bolts and Esagaze. Counter-terrorists at a disadvantage in that regards. Grim, though, doesn't need much. Goes ahead, finds that kill towards short, but now it's Bolts in the clutch. The 1v4. He's got players low, but he can't control all of their peaks. It is Team Liquid with a 3-round edge. But that game versus Navi was no fluke. MIBR take to the defense after the break.
Last tournament that we won, I played with M4A1S.
This is a tie. No, not choosing. That's the one I'm talking about, the print stream. I have it. I unboxed it. First honor. I'm gonna go with that one, but Mech Industries is not bad too, to be honest.
The Mecha Industries gets beat out. It's the print stream for that beautiful pearlescent finish.
The print stream, not just because I want blast with it.
Print stream, it's very beautiful skin.
Definitely the print stream. I mean, they're very similar, but I think print stream looks way better.
Player 2 against Chanticle's Fire. I'll go Chanticle's Fire here. No one wants to be player 2. I have been player 2 in 2016. It sucks. You always want to be number 1.
Player 2, please. It's got that Mega Man vibe.
Some baby face, what's that? I think I would pick the player 2 M4. This M4 has more details.
I go for the player 2. I think Chantico's Fire is too much, like, contrast, you know?
Definitely player 2. I think the Chantico's Fire is actually one of the ugliest skins in the game.
Cyrex is very classic, right? It's been in the game for ages. I'll go Cyrex, just like me, in the game for ages.
The leaded glass has an awesome 3D effect on the side of the skin, so leaded glass wins out.
I would pick the classic Cyrex. Colors is nice.
This one I go for Cyrex. It's a beautiful skin. I like it.
I'd say Cyrex. It's one of the better A1S skins for sure.
Hyper Beast against Decimator.
The teeth down the magazine, dude, that's big bonus points. Hyper Beast.
The Hyper Beast as well. It's easy to choose between them.
Yeah, like I said on the Alp, Hyper Beast for me is a very good design.
I think the Decimator actually over the Hyper Beast.
This is tough. Why you guys put those two together? Because both are great. This is a 50-50. I'm not choosing that one. Sorry. No, if I have to, I'll quit. Retire. I'm not choosing it. Blue Phosphor versus Guardian.
There it is. The blue phosphor.
Guardian.
I would pick the blue phosphor, brighter M4, I guess.
Those guys are making my job much harder in the back here. But I'm gonna go Guardian just because I like Guardian.
That is a classic. So I would actually have to say the Guardian skin, just because there's more like creativity.
So I go for Blue Phosphor. It's a very beautiful skin. If I have to choose one M4, like best M4S, I go for the Blue Phosphor.
Icarus Fell versus Bright Water. Icarus Fell all the way. That's a 100% skin. You'll never get Bright Water. You'll buy Icarus Fell for sure.
The Icarus fell because it's got the lighter tones.
I would pick Bright Water. I played with it a lot at the beginning of my journey.
I go for Icarus Fell. Bright Water is like all the same.
Actually, I would say Icarus Fell with the bright like blue and everything.
Stellar performance from Grim on the A site. 16 and 8 at the end of the half. And if you went to the other side of the map, you had NAF at 17 frags, 8 deaths. So defense looking solid, but the game plan from MIBR found early success. Remember, they won 5 of the first 6 rounds. And now it's Liquid's turn to take to the offense.
Yeah. I mean, Grim just played extraordinary all half. I mean, whether or not like the ideas were good, he was there to make up for it. Yeah, on top of a couple of other individuals here. Let's see if it carries forward. Attack up the A ramp. Esagaze here holding for the peak, but Grim immediately clocks him.
Yeah, and look at Grim, man. He's going to go for a deeper position. Cello walks out, loses his space. Grim, third
Dude,
kill.
He's just on monster mode. I mean, this wouldn't be the first time he did this to MIBR.
Stewie 2K is going to find the same spot that Grim was just within. And he gets hard cleared. Yell with a headshot and a follow-up. Now it's him on 14 HP with 2 Ts, but he's not going to manage. Double digits first for Team Liquid.
Look at his performance versus MIBR once upon a time is the reason he's on Liquid now. Remember that?
Monster.
Crazy entry. I mean, also just the amount of space created. And in his position, CT, T-side, whatever, he's almost always alone. It feels like they almost have 2 Elisias with the way that Grim's been playing, and yeah, it's insane. 19 and 9 here, coming into round 17. And what are the ideas that MIBR can bring? Honestly, very impressed with what they were doing there in the first half. I'm sure they got them some notes to themselves about how they can improve it, but you know, I think it's individuals that carried Liquid over the line, not the game plan itself as much. At least from my humble perspective, but this half will quickly get away from them with just a pistol and conversions on the ecos. So see if they bring some ingenuity here to the force up.
Grim one headshot before Danico finds him. Hey, a second off of the Deagle, and Esagaze's got one. It's a Liege with everything so far after Grim's first. You just said, right? 2 Elisias. Well, there's only one of them standing at this point.
He's really good at entering up this ramp, and he just gets the sandbags. It's just what Elige does. And then he just becomes incredibly powerful from this position. Trying to escort the plant. The only issue is because they're low on resources as in players at this moment. You know, they can't be totally clear about the short shelf at the moment. So, yeah, they're going to pull Elige forward. They had 3 players. He might stay back in this spot. And this frees up... at least calms the nerves a bit. You know, it's 2-on-1 now. They're still worried about bolts, and they should be, but it's only 1 man, right? My God, they're actually going to pull back.
Ooh.
This is a
back
it's a weird
short.
decision, man, because... Oh, to short, excuse me.
Yeah, it draws him in. Now he's going to be standing in the open. Oh, he's tagged up. Bolts falls back. Frag could hit the bomb planter. If he kills that first man, the NAF's chipped down a bit. Hands busy with bomb.
Yeah, you could get 1 deke to the body almost, yeah.
Definitely a good attempt there by Bolts to kind of section them off from one another, but ultimately, the Deagle's not enough. Danico, nice 2 kills to open here. Esagaze peeks around from the yellow tarps, and then Elige just cracks it back for Liquid. An 11-6 lead for them.
Yeah.
What's wrong, Stu?
It's for them just all about converting at this point because, yeah, 5-round lead. I don't really care how close it gets. They know MIBR are not going to be able to invest too much. I do upgrade a couple of Deagles, which is kind of interesting, actually. I think Bulls talked about forcing too much, and that's something that they were working on when it came to their matches in Brazil versus playing now in Europe.
Yeah. Oh,
But, yeah.
it's a slaughter.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to pull out of some of their grenades potentially from next round. I'm not exactly sure how much money they have here. Maybe they didn't invest down to 0 in that previous round. I'm not sure, but the next round will speak for itself.
Bomb has been planted.
Esagaze here with the Deagle in the post plant. That's a very old school Deagle, isn't it?
Yes, the old Crimson Web. But he cannot weave a situation in this 1v5 that nets him all too much. So, double the round count now. Liquid leading 12-6. 2 MAC-10s from the previous round going to be grandfathered into this 19th, which leads me to believe that we could get a bit of aggression at the start.
They do well here to get everything they needed. So they found a way to, even when they lose all of the players off the second round, to still invest into upgraded pistols and still put together a buy. So that works out very nicely here for MIBR. Apart, of course, from not getting that economic damage in. My God, happy to take the fights and
So close.
unclear who the victor is. Danico's not going to be happy about that. Elige won't be happy about that. Maybe until later when they find out the impact.
This is a weird angle, man. I didn't know where I was for a second.
Yeah.
It's like looking up into the B site of, or rather the A palace on Mirage, you know? We don't look all the
See
way up too often in Counter-Strike.
The balconies and everything inside or whatever it's up there. Yeah.
Maybe we should spend more time looking upwards.
Maybe.
Stewie 2K takes a bunch of damage and then walks away from the A ramp. He doesn't want to be the casualty to open up the round. Elige boosted behind the plywood.
It does.
Another one.
Yeah, I mean, they get up here, and the CTs might think it's over on the site, but they don't push all the way through. Cello, he's at risk of getting killed, but a great reaction from him. Nets him the frag and the ability to fall back as well.
And he can't see, though. He's so blind. Wow. Flashbang after flashbang.
Okay.
Fallen
That
has
guy was whiter than a
nades
Colgate commercial.
for days.
Whiter than VSM's teeth there for about 10 seconds.
Didn't even know what planet he was on. And off of the back of that, we're going to have no contest from MIBR. They retreat and save for the next one. 13-6. Oh my God. Off of the back.
What did you say?
Nothing.
Okay. What does it come down to? Perfectly perfectly spaced flashbangs. Fallen throws 2 of them. Entries come down, 13-6. Looking super comfy now. And yeah, the only one of the other issues about this map, I mean, it's not like the map's issue, but just something that happens. Like if you do, go for like a 3-pronged kind of A ramp setup, because as I talked about before, it's not that easy to hold the bottom of the ramp with like one person and leave them there. Every angle can be pre-fired. It's, playing on top of the box is a gimmick that just doesn't often work. Smoking down the ramp doesn't really work that much. If you have 3 players there and the other team is going to go B, they're extremely long rotates away. There's not like on Train, I think a Train taking over T-Con control can allow you to rotate out to B, leave a player inside a T-Con, they can fight and whatever and delay. You don't really have that as much on Vertigo. Down inside the A ramp, it's still very T-favored, I think, to come back and try to reclaim control of it, which I think makes it a very favorable situation for T's in a spot like that. But, you can get the CTs to play situations like that just based on conditioning, like, we've always been taking A ramp control, come and try to, take control of it. So that might have been Liquid in MIBR's head a bit. But either way, one of the last chances here in the game for MIBR to come back. They don't have an op to help them out. But they do have kind of a new setup, new idea. We're here to try to fight A ramp control as hard as possible, make sure no one pushes down. And again, Elise just deserves a Medal of Honor for how brave he is at all times, coming up the A ramp, bullying, short shell, fighting, spamming, walking through grenades. He's very comfortable in all these different fights.
It's a role that would break a lesser man. Yell gonna have to leave his preferred position. Danico dies to Stewie, spammed through yellow. And Yell still close enough to challenge here. M4A1S, 4 players ahead, sees the head, and looks away. But Esagaze, he's got himself 2 kills.
Is that off the flank? Where did... Oh, he just peeked
away
off
from
short. Okay, 2 on 3, 50 seconds. No B players at the moment. There is an opportunity for Liquid. They don't know it, though. They think they're just getting hot flanked. And that means they're just going to, what, late come back up A or... Oh, faking the rotate potentially here. Fallen waits to try to pull something back. It's a bit of a gimmick. They're obviously losing when it comes to resources. MIBR can sit 2 here, rotate 1. I don't think they're going to care very much.
Here we go. Molotov should clear the corner so that they can just focus on sight. Last bits of utility thrown out, and Esagaze, he's going to just rush right in, and he dies for that decision. Then Bolts does too. Stu with 3 kills, leaves Cello, and he's not able to just exit straight out through that smoke. Team Liquid in the 2v3 to the 2v1. They get their bomb plant, and they push MIBR's last player into the retake. Now, he does have a kit, but he only has a flashbang. So as long as Stewie stays tucked behind the sandbags, it really is on his decision to swing out and take the final fight. He does so and puts Team Liquid on fire. 5 rounds in a row in this T side, 10 in a row if you consider the end of the first half.
We see the tactic that risks it all when they try to reclaim A ramp control. So the 2v3 between the 2 IGLs of the roster proves to be successful. Some nice answers back, and it was a great round from Esagaze up until that point, coming out very, very wide to try to win his duel, but after that, in the 2-on-2, it's all too easy for the experienced combo of Stewie and Fallen. 14 rounds here in the game, and it is very much gotten away from MIBR.
Unarguably. It's been a long time since we saw that logo on fire. 15 opening kills to Liquid to the 5 of MIBR. Last round was the 5th for the Brazilians. Again, they've got this 2-pronged pinch ready to peak, perhaps. But they are certainly outnumbered. There's a 3rd player. Esagaze was over towards the sandbags. Oh, Elige!
Like they have pistols.
Just running through them like it's nothing. A full buy round from MIBR to try and stave off a 15th round win from Liquid. And Elige, so disrespectful, but Bolts! He's able to get out from the CT spawn with 2 kills already to his name. Bomb planter almost killed, but Naf's gonna survive for now. Cello, a little bit slow from the B site. Has to contemplate the M4 save. Elige near single-handedly winning this round, forcing himself to the top of the scoreboard for Team Liquid.
Yeah.
25 kills to his name.
Maybe watch that back. Yeah, he's really it's just tug of war with him and Grim for who's better at the moment.
Yeah, but you've got James Banks on one side and me on the other.
Wait, which one's James Banks though?
Elige. In the sense that he...
I think we need to put someone stronger on the other side then, because Grim's done a great job.
Oh. Sorry, I thought we meant between Elige and this A setup Launders, the one he just completely smashed.
Okay.
Which is what would happen if James Banks tugged me through the mud.
Yeah, this is unbelievable. And I mean, yeah, this is his bread and butter. Watch his demos on this map. This is just what he does. And honestly, it's just crazy how Grim is. Yeah, it feels like almost a carbon copy in some senses. But it's like a job that you can almost teach somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To be by yourself, to do that much, take that much control, to be comfortable in all those fights. I mean, yeah, just a couple of star players, honestly. Crazy stuff.
It's a little bit of gaming intuition.
I feel like they didn't even shoot a bullet back at him. I mean,
I don't think they've really had a chance.
Yeah.
And look, he's already posted up. He's so ready. Danico tries to play more proactive, as opposed to letting Elige just walk in and take all your heads off. He tries to make something happen, and look who has a different look to him. Elige, passive setup, standing on his teammate's head.
And, you know, actually there's some method to the smoke spams. When he does them, how he manufactures these frags, it's a little bit of luck, but it's also, you know, kind of creating those timings. Man, there's another heal. Unanswered. Important player. Bolts is out. Time to go get the bomb as we cross the minute mark, but this could be it for MIBR.
Yeah, looking like 12 round wins in a row to close the show on Vertigo.
Well, it'll be, you know, 3v5 on A with a push, maybe? Or are they going back to B?
Yeah, they're setting up outside of B site. It's just Fallen selling them hook, line, and sinker. Maybe Fallen can even close this one out. Yell's gonna challenge around, and sure enough, it's the one-man army in Fallen sending a message to his Brazilian brethren. Cello hiding now behind the sandbags. What you gonna make of this? Bombs planted. Get your knife. Get your knife. Yeah. You take what you can in a situation like this. He instantly gets wrecked by Naf, but I think